back down here in that bottom where I scouted and jumped a nice buck. I decided to sit right here in this bottom because it's where a couple different drainages come together, and it's closest to where I saw that buck. There's a deer right there. It's either a doe or a fawn. As dry as it is, that deer did not make a sound. The wind should be blowing straight up this way. It's funny, that doe came in on my downwind side, but my scent must be carrying right over, which is good. Well, it's about 10 o'clock, and it's been pretty dead quiet since that doe slipped by me first thing this morning. I can't really set up where I really want to set up because of the property lines, but I still got a couple good options here on public. So I may be back here, I may not, but I won't be back here tonight or tomorrow, maybe next week. The spot I hunted last night with those 3 other guys, I'm really tempted to go back there today, but I got another spot where the persimmons are, and they're gonna be finished cutting the corn here soon. I'm gonna pack up and get down, and I'll see y'all back in the woods. Alright, y'all. So I was on the fence, going to where I went last night or going to this persimmon patch I've been talking about. And I got some pretty good confidence with that persimmon patch, but they did finish cutting the corn around it, which might not screw it up. But I got to thinking, I forgot the wise words, don't leave deer to find deer. So I'm back here in these soybeans. I figured while the wind is good and the beans are green, I might as well capitalize on it while I can and try to get a crack at this bachelor group. One of the guys who was hunting with us yesterday evening is gone back out to another field where his buddy was last night, and where he saw like another bachelor group. So we're both setting up on bachelor groups. Deer are a little late to the party tonight. I haven't seen any yet, but I can't see much of this bean field. The other guy down the way has seen one doe so far. Well, those bucks finally did come out into the beans, but they came out 100, 120 yards down the field. I don't know exactly where they came out because I couldn't see, but I got a good idea where they came from. And of course they just went out straight into the middle where the good beans are. I tried a couple of really lousy mouth grunts, and I tried a fawn bleat just kind of out of desperation, but they weren't having any of it. I don't know if they could even hear. Alright, I didn't know if they could even hear it. But anyways, we'll go back to camp and get something to eat, something to drink, and check some spots on the map and figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Well, I'm up here in the persimmons this morning. I got a bunch of persimmons off to my right and a couple of them to my left, and some willow oaks that I think are starting to drop acorns. I'm actually sitting in one of them. And then all out in front of me we got cornfields that have been cut. There's still lots of bedding around those fields regardless if they're cut or not. There's another guy hunting off in the hardwoods. He's parked at the same spot. I have not hunted here in the morning. I hunted here last year in the evening and saw some deer. I'm not sure how it is in the morning. I'm hoping to see something. There's a deer blowing back across the road from where we parked. I bet she was fixing to come across my way and saw the trucks. It's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna climb down now. I've heard some persimmons drop, a few acorns. I think I probably would have had some deer come my way from across the road if they hadn't seen the trucks and blew at them. I'm assuming that's what happened. I'm gonna go back to camp. I might do a little scouting today, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna definitely be figuring out which spot to hunt this evening. I think I might just go back after that bachelor group because I've seen them every night. I'll see y'all here in a little bit. Well, I'm back in the spot where the bachelor group is. Couldn't help myself. I put some effort into them. They've been out every evening in the same area, hitting the same field. So I'm going to go give it another shot. It's early. It's only about 2:30. And so I've got time. I'd actually like to poke around and maybe see if I can find another trail to set up on that's a little bit tighter to the bedding. Right there's where a lot of the deer came out 2 nights ago, where I was set up yesterday. Yesterday they came out way down there. And we've got one heck of a good trail right here. I'm gonna go in these woods and see what I can find. Oh, they're gone. Doe and a fawn out in this private field down here. Just a grass field. I don't know if I bumped them or if they were already on their feet and they saw me, but they just ran to the left. There's a chunk of hardwoods over there on private. I can't go past this fence row here. I have to go this way and stay on public. It's possible some deer bed over there in those hardwoods on private, but all the thick stuff is over here on public. And I think most of the deer are coming from public. Now those bucks, I'm pretty sure they bed somewhere off this way. They were coming out this way, heading to the beans, and then last night they came out this way. I didn't see where they came out, but they came out from over there. So I'm thinking they're using this strip of woods. If they stick to yesterday's pattern, I'm hoping to maybe catch them slipping through this little strip of woods here. So that's why I'm in here looking. So I'm getting to the end of this strip of woods, and it starts sloping down. And I'm gonna ease out this CRP and look around a little bit. It looks like a good trail coming out here. Yes, it is a deer trail. Yeah, this is a really good trail. There's been armadillo trails everywhere, so it's hard to pick out the deer sign, but seeing a turd sitting there is a good sign. It's looking like I'm gonna wanna set up on the edge of this somewhere in a tree where I can shoot into the woods and also into the CRP. I'd say that looks like a pretty good deer trail just paralleling right here. Thought it was like a tractor track, but it's a deer trail. So we got one going parallel, we got one coming in here. There's an oak tree right there, but if I'm down too low, I kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Oh, it's got poison ivy on it, screw it. There's a good oak up here. It's got poison ivy on it. I might have to make something work though. Luckily it's a small vine. It looks like 2 small vines. I can pull those down easily without having to touch them. Get some leaves here to grab them with. A lot of these trees here have got huge poison ivy vines on them. I ain't pulling down no huge vine. But check that out. This one's dead, but still. Alright. I'm set up. I believe this is the best tree in this spot to shoot both the CRP and the woods. I've got this willow oak behind me that's providing good cover, but also limits my shots into the woods. But I've got a couple pockets where I can sneak a couple shots through, and I can shoot a couple pockets on that deer trail in the CRP that parallels the woods. And I got one small pocket right where the trail cuts into the woods. And I can see, I got tree limbs in front of me, but I can see through them to see if anything is out in the CRP. I think it's a good setup. I'm pretty well hidden. I've got shots to the trails. So fingers crossed the deer show up this evening. Hopefully I'm in a good spot. I just saw a deer slipping through the woods. I think it was the fawn from earlier when I jumped that doe and fawn. It's right where we're looking at, but there's too much foliage. It's going from right to left. Something spooked pretty bad out in the main CRP where I was watching last night. Wind has been swirling kind of, but I don't know which way it's going past 10 yards because the milkweed keeps getting hung up on stuff. Right now it looks like it's going that way. The deer is to the left. I know John is back out hunting, but I don't think he's in his lock on. He said he was going to sit on the ground up in the corner. There's 2 of them blowing now. They're not running straight away, they're running from left to right. But I think they're going off down into the thicket. I can't see them. Those deer are supposed to be directly upwind of me, and they may be, but right here the wind is changing so often, I'm not sure where my scent is actually ending up because it keeps going backwards on me. It's supposed to be blowing into the woods, and sometimes it does. Right after those deer ran off, it switched again and blew off into the woods. I'm not gonna lie, the wind is screwing me over. It's not just blowing the wrong way, it's blowing every which way. Deer gone back to blowing again. guessing they winded me. Well, that was a bust. Wind was forecast to be perfect, coming straight away from bedding. I came in, it was coming more this way, which was fine. It's blowing towards the beans. So I had 2 good winds. I got climbed up and it just started going every which way and started blowing into every possible bedding area. And then I started getting blown at by deer. So yeah, basically, if that happens again, I'm probably just going to climb down and find another spot to sit, because I ain't going to waste my time when it's doing that. Deer are definitely in here. They just got all screwed up. I don't think Buddy's seen any up there. He said he heard something in the CRP, but he hadn't seen any yet. That'll be a wrap for this trip, but within a week I'll be back out here for another 4 or 5 days. So I'm looking forward to that. Hoping to close the deal next week. So stay tuned for that. I'll catch you all next time.